Alright, so today I thought that what we would So today I wanted to discuss how to stop having an anxiety attack. Now this video is a list of tips on how to end an anxiety attack, so I don't want to take too much of your time, but man, just real quick, I'm not a doctor, therapist, or a specialist. I am just speaking from almost 10 years of experience having hundreds and perhaps thousands of anxiety attacks. So if you would just take 2 seconds to like and subscribe, it would really bless me and I'd really appreciate it. I will make videos with more tips on how to end a panic attack, but I also have some content on how to prevent an anxiety attack too, so please be sure to check that out too. So before I get started, I do have a quick question as usual for you. What techniques or tricks do you use and find most effective to stop an anxiety or panic attack? Please comment them down below, because you will be helping other people who suffer from anxiety attacks more than you know. The best way we can reduce our One of the best ways we can reduce our anxiety is often sharing our experiences and how to overcome these attacks.
Thank you.
Now, enough babbling. Here are my top tips on how to stop anxiety attacks immediately. Number 1, triangle breathing. The triangle breathing technique is a double whammy when it comes to effective ways to stop anxiety attacks. You have probably heard that 2 ways to prevent anxiety is breathing and mindfulness. So certain breathing techniques stimulate the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest and most complex of the 12 pairs of cranial nerves that emanate from the brain. It transmits information to or from the surface of the brain to tissues and organs elsewhere in the body. This includes your heart rate. So deep, slow breathing and exhalations stimulate your vagus nerve, which signals to the body that you are in a state of calm. As deep breaths slow your heart rate, your vagus nerve recognizes, hey, I'm safe, and it sends that information to the body so that it can turn off its defenses, such as those that arise from anxiety. So we've got the breathing and the body taken care of, but you can probably attest that during a panic attack, your mind is racing with horrible and anxious thoughts. This is where mindfulness comes in. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing your mind and focus to the present moment, knocking out those high-speed and ruminating anxious thoughts and being still, present, and aware. So I do have another video discussing some tricks on taking control of your thoughts, so check that content out. But here is how to perform triangle breathing to stimulate the Here is how to perform triangle breathing to stimulate the vagus nerve and increase your mindfulness. So get quiet, close your eyes, and I want you to breathe in through your nose. Now as you slowly breathe in, I want you to mentally draw one side of the triangle with a color of your choice, and do it at the same speed as your breath. You can even say the color if you want to, but that's optional. Like this. Blue. Then exhale, but draw the remaining 2 sides of the triangle with a different color, like this. Orange. This forces the exhalation to be twice as long as your inhalation, thus stimulating the vagus nerve as we previously discussed. You also become mindful and stop your racing, anxiety-obsessed thoughts by drawing a triangle in accordance with your breathing, with changing colors. You can also change the colors of each side every time you breathe in or out. And just a quick side note, you can combine the triangle breathing technique with the rest of my anxiety attack relief tricks. But this, in my experience, is a highly effective technique on how to stop a panic attack right now. Number 2, Marconi Union Weightless. So if listening to something to reduce your anxiety is more your style, then this is a definite go-to. Available on YouTube, even in a 10-hour version, the song Weightless by the artist Marconi Union is a must-have for anxiety, panic attack relief. Marconi Union collaborated with sound therapists to create carefully arranged harmonies and rhythms and bass lines that help slow a listener's heart rate, reduce blood pressure, and actually lowers levels of the stress hormone cortisol. So something cool is that Dr. David Lewis Hodgson of MindLab International found that the song resulted in a 65% reduction in the listener's overall anxiety and a 35% reduction in physiological resting stress. I have found that slipping on a set of headphones and listening to this track specifically can be one of the most powerful ways to stop an anxiety attack. I'd also personally recommend doing this in combination with tip number 1, triangle breathing. Number 3, meditation apps. Okay, so this is another tip that uses your listening ability to relieve your anxiety, but I personally find listening to be so effective to get our mind to pull up out of negative thought spirals and resolve anxious thoughts. So I'm not endorsed or sponsored by any meditation apps. This is purely a suggestion. I personally use the mobile app Abide. It's organized by category, including anxiety. There are a lot of meditation applications out there that offer free and payment-based approaches and are also categorized by your symptoms or meditation goals. During a panic attack, I have often slipped on my headphones, began triangle breathing, and listened to one or several meditation sessions to help resolve my ruminating negative thought spirals and alleviate my symptoms. Number 4, gratitude lists. This tip might seem a bit unorthodox and is often used for more general anxiety or mental well-being, but I've also found it to be very effective to stop panic attacks as they happen. I went through a period of time where I would actually wake up every morning into an anxiety attack with a racing heart, and I found this approach to be highly effective. Now, when I personally do this, I am praying to God concerning my gratitude. But if that's not your cup of tea, you can just mentally or verbally list them out. But I would definitely recommend saying your list out, even if it's in a whisper. Get quiet. You can even combine this tip with triangle breathing or listening to the Marconi Union Weightless song or a meditation. But begin by mentally listing out 5 things that you are grateful for. Father, I am grateful for air conditioning. It can literally be anything, no matter how small. You can probably see now that this is just another form of mindfulness. Being in the moment and realizing the truth of the situation, in that anxiety's power is reducing over you and you can control your thoughts. Also, it's a nice exercise to realize sometimes just how blessed we are in life, which is a pretty easy thing to overlook sometimes. Number 5, walking. Okay, now I wouldn't typically endorse a technique of activity in order to deal with anxiety. You're already feeling anxious, so I would fear feeding it with activity. However, sometimes you feel like you do need to eat into that anxious energy, and I think if done right, when you feel an attack coming on and you are capable, going for a walk can resolve an anxiety attack. But do me a favor before you do this tip. When you feel that attack coming on, ask yourself, what do I want to do right now to deal with this? If your body and your mind objectively tells you, I think a walk would be nice, then go do it. But another favor, when you go for that walk, don't slip into high gear. Don't try to burn a bunch of calories or walk really fast, thinking you can overcome the anxiety that way. You are seeking to dissipate that anxiety. So what do I mean? When you go for your walk, bring some headphones just in case you want to listen to a meditation or a calming song like Weightless. You can even do your triangle breathing as you walk. But every now and then, walking or standing still, lift your head to the sky and breathe deep. If it's raining, let it hit you in the face. Or it's sunny, the same. But that's step 1. Literally take the time to smell the roses, the air, whatever. Secondly, as you walk and look around, flood your mind with timely, positive thoughts. Man, I just forget how cool palm trees are sometimes. That car is just so cool looking. The sun feels so good on my face. That's a really good looking couple over there. Dogs are the absolute greatest. Positive, pleasant, slow paced, enjoyable. You can do this. So my friends, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video with my 5 ways to stop an anxiety attack. I really do hope it's helpful, and if you'd like, I'm happy to make more. Please know, however, that beyond knowing how to stop anxiety attacks as they occur, please also work on preventing anxiety and panic attacks from even happening in your life. I have other content that addresses that too, so feel free to check it out. And if any of this was new to you, helpful, or you have your own tips to stop anxiety attacks, please comment down below. As I always say, you'll be helping other people so much more than you know. God bless, and I'll catch you next time. There, I fixed it.